Hi, this is Robin with a new meta skill on getting things done with Notion and how to move from a reactive state to a proactive state. So let us talk about getting things done with Notion, which is really one of my favorite topics because I researched that really deeply within the last 2 years. As I started my own freelancing facilitator business, my schedule just grew fuller and fuller, and I had to deal with so many different things. And I noticed myself moving more into a reactive state where just different things popped in, emails and all of that. And I found myself just reacting to all of this and not really being in charge anymore. And I remember this one specific night where I was on my way to a train station and really felt anxiety coming up as I was thinking of all of my to-dos. I had a multi-day training going on next week and I still had to prepare lots of other things and just felt like I couldn't deal with it anymore and I had forgotten something. So as I sat down at the train station to just wait for the train, I pulled out my smartphone just to get an overview. And I opened my calendar app and saw all of the dates neatly arranged and following each other. And that already made me calmer as I saw that there was enough time to deal with it all. And then I had another look at my project management software where I saw all of the tasks I had to do and I realized I didn't forget anything. And last year I also looked at my notebook where all of the important information was stored and I felt even more calmer and how I could breathe deeper, just getting an overview. And I noticed how I really moved into a different state there, where I really felt being on top of things and not in this reactive state anymore, but rather in a proactive state where I felt like I could deal with those things again from my own perspective and really choose what I wanted to do next. And that really started the process of researching self management because I became aware how important this topic is. And so far, I was kind of just organizing myself really loosely with self invented system and began researching this topic and found one specific mindset that really changed everything for me. And that concept was called getting things done. And it's really one of the most foundational practices in self management. It's invented by the guy David Allen, and I recommend you checking it out online. He wrote a book, Getting Things Done, but there are also great summaries. And I think that's most important to get the basic idea and mindset behind getting things done. And that's also what I'm trying to communicate here. And I think a quote that sums it up quite nicely is to pay attention to what has your attention. So to don't just blindly react to all of the stuff that is coming in, but to also pay some attention to the way you actually organize yourself and how you deal with the different information. An image that sums it up quite nicely as well is to compare our brain with a computer. So a computer has lots of memory and you can basically put all of the relevant information into endless gigabytes. And so is our brain really capable of remembering many things. But there's also the working memory, the RAM. And if you are constantly working and have too many tabs open, too many programs running at your computer will turn slow. And it's kind of the same for our brain. If you constantly have to remember things and think about stuff, your RAM is just really growing fuller and fuller, and you become less capable. It's kind of like the computer who's turning slower when the working memory is full and is not really able to function that well anymore. And I think so is our brain. So the question to ask is really, how is your RAM doing? How's your working memory? And I think for most of us, it's pretty full. We have to think of so many things. Life is growing more and more complex. Digital organizing doesn't make it better. So our working memory is quite full, and getting things done is kind of providing a solution for that by recommending you to invent intelligent systems that really helped you to capture everything and organize everything that crosses your path. So the idea is, like on your computer, to close the tabs, to put them into files, to clean your desktop, and suddenly your computer will run smoothly again. And you still have all of the relevant information stored somewhere. And it's the same for our brain. So if you start organizing your tasks and your brain, you also will become calmer, peaceful, and as a result, actually more creative and more proactive and productive. Because, like the computer who's now running smoothly again, so can your brain with an empty working memory now focus again on the most important tasks that you choose to do. So before we jump into my solution, I just want to quickly present you another important concept of getting things done, which is to have it all in one place. And that's really crucial because if you store your information in different places, you still have to consciously think about them and where you put which information. So the basic steps of getting things done are to first capture everything, then to organize that, and lastly, to engage on those things. There are more steps, but that's kind of like the basic outline. The problem, however, is that there are so many different types of information we have to store. There are tasks, there are dates and information, and most of us are using different apps to organize ourselves here. And that's still kind of a problem that I dealt with. And I was always looking for a solution that kind of could integrate more of that together to really have it all in one place, like David Allen is suggesting. And that's when I actually discovered Notion as a game changer, a tool that could combine all of those things and make it possible to have it all in one place. And I'm excited to share that tool with you here. So let me introduce to you Notion. And first of all, no, I'm not getting paid by Notion to do this. I just really like the tool. So here we are on the dashboard, and this is a page that I have created and that you can actually download on my website to get you started. Because in the beginning it can be quite complex and people ask me again and again to really give them my structure. So that's how I organize myself. And the reason why Notion is a game changer is because it combines to do. So you have a Kanban board down here that you can kind of use to move your tasks around. But it also combines it with a note-taking tool that is quite complex but great to use. So those are different pages. And if I click on one page, I just open that page and have a whole new way of organizing things here and can have more organizations here. So it really helps you to get track of all of your information and to find a structure that makes sense to store that. So this is a work-related page and everything that is work-related could go in here. And those are more pages that I have created just to keep track of all of the different things in my life that I want to kind of remember. I also have a mission statement here to just remind me of all of the things that I want to be doing and keep me motivated. But of course, the most important part is this one, the getting things done list. And this Kanban board is really deeply inspired by the method of getting things done. And I just want to quickly guide you through it. So you have to-dos. All of your to-dos can go here and are great to just organize yourself. You might know that already. You can terminate them. You can put different ideas like contexts or projects just to really clarify what everything is about. And then you can just move them around. Maybe if it's done, you put it to done. And when new tasks come in, like getting things done is saying, capture everything, you just write it down here. Then there's also the project list, which is recommended by getting things done. And projects really are important because they are not directly actionable items, but still you have to keep track of them. So maybe to do 2 and 3 are related to project one. And the projects are just really important because whenever I get a new customer, a new project, I instantly open a new page here, new project, and I write down all of the relevant information that I need to know about this job, about this customer here. And most of the times, those are really long pages because I get so much relevant information. I get Zoom links, I get specific dates. And to have them all well organized, I use this structure. Also for organizations. So if I'm involved in different organizations, and those are not actionable items, but it is just an overview about what I'm actually doing. So maybe I have my own business and there are lots of things that I need to remember about my business, like my passwords or whatever, then I can just write them down here. There are a few other sections that are quite helpful, also inspired by getting things done. The waiting for list really helps you to store to-dos that you might not be able to do right now because you're waiting for people. So you can put them on waiting for to don't forget them, but to also not have them on your plate. I really like options where I always write down what I could be doing. So this is not something I have to do, but it's sometimes I just have those great ideas, like putting something on my website or starting this project, and I just write it down because I could do it one day, but don't have to do it necessarily. And if I want to do it, I can just move it over to my to-do list. On hold is also really helpful because sometimes you have a project, but you decide to not do it right now. So you can move your project over here on hold and just don't forget it, but also put it off your plate to keep this here nice and empty. And then also inspired by getting things done is the one day maybe list, which is just for dreams and things you could be doing one day. It's kind of like options, but bigger and more loftier dreams. And of course, you can add more columns here, and they really help you to organize your tasks. And Notion is quite simple, but it can be pretty complex. So you can use all of those information to do different things. You can also have different views, like get a timeline view, and then you see all of your projects according to different times. Or you could have it in a table view where you see your projects organized by all of the things that you assigned them to, and you can go crazy here. I'm actually only using the normal board view most of the times, but it is possible to do crazy things here. Mm. So that's kind of the basic outline. I still included some tools that I really like here on this page, which is my routines. So if I have a habit, I just tick it off here. That's kind of helpful for me because I'm really into habits and I'm also into goals. So just to remember my goals, I can write my goals down here, maybe my intention, how I'm measuring them. That helps me to really fulfill my loftier, bigger goals. And the great thing is they also function as a page. So if you really want to go crazy on this vision, you can go here and just write your vision down here and everything that is related to your goal. So you can use them, but you can of course also delete them. And then down here, you just write down everything that you need to remember, which is why this page is also called the inbox. So every relevant piece of information, remember that's the first step of getting things done, is to capture, is going in here. And then you just take some time, and it's great because it's just one page to organize your tasks once in a while. So if you have some piece of information and you think, okay, this information is it a task? Do I need to remember it? And then you can also just move it and say, okay, I want to move this to my work page that I showed you earlier, and then you can just move it over there. and it's gone. And you see it over here and work the relevant information. And that's how I keep track of everything. So just take care that this is emptied once in a while and have a look on your tasks to really see which tasks are relevant. And of course, if something is not relevant, you can always delete it. And that's just something to get you started. Of course, you can go crazy and create all of different things. You can also introduce other apps to it that I haven't even heard of and embed them. So it is quite complex and really suits your personal style. It's also open source, and I can just really recommending using this tool. So that was my quick overview about Notion. And I cannot stress enough how much this tool has changed my life. It really made me hyper productive and hyper efficient at everything. And I also introduced it to many friends and colleagues who all said that the tool really is a game changer. And that's also the reason why I'm doing this video, because more and more people have asked me to introduce Notion to them. So stay on top of things and really start using Notion as a tool to organize yourself and to capture everything. And I swear you will become more creative and focused. And I think that's what this is really about. It's not some self-optimizing management technique, but it's really something that frees up your working memory and helps you to become calmer and more focused on the most important things of life, like spending time with friends and family and really working on projects and passions that you like. So go to my website and download the template. It's free. Notion is free to use for individuals. So just give it a go, and I swear you will become super creative and productive with it. And of course, if you liked the video, please give me a like, subscribe to the channel. That really helps me to do more of those videos, and leave some comments below for other tools of self-management that you may be using, or if you have any other meta skill that you really would like to have a video for, then give me a note and I'll be happy to respond. See you soon in the next meta skill.